I'm Olga Mason.
And I'm Christine Tuzon. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
In wake of the San Bernardino shooting, people have strong emotions regarding new information about the shooter being a devout Christian pastor. Reporter Bree Burries has the update.
The North Park Elementary School shooting in San Bernardino shook the community, leaving families and friends in a time of mourning and concern. There were 3 deaths. Teacher Karen Elaine Smith, who was 53 years old, and the shooter's estranged wife. Also an 8-year-old boy, Jonathan Martinez, who was Smith's student, and the shooter who ended his own life during the tragic event. The shooter, Cedric Anderson, was a pastor and has a history of domestic violence. Many people on his Facebook account are posting out of anger about his contradictory lifestyle. A 9-year-old student, Nolan Brandon, was also shot in his upper body and taken by ambulance to the Loma Linda Hospital. His condition has improved and a full recovery is expected. There is a GoFundMe campaign for Jonathan Martinez, and over $114,000 were raised thus far to help the community's families cope and support funeral expenses. Child care for the students at North Park Elementary will be available at Del Vallejo Middle School on Thursday, Friday to help the families. Classes will resume on Monday, according to the school's district officials. Back to Christine at the desk.
Within the last hour, United Airlines spokesperson Megan McCarthy has made an announcement that will hopefully get the airline company back in the good graces of frequent flyers. Passengers on Flight 3411 from Chicago to Louisville, Kentucky will be compensated in either cash, travel credit, or miles for the troubles they encountered on Sunday when security dragged out a 69-year-old passenger after he refused to give up his seat on the overbooked flight. United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz supported his decision and reassured future passengers that an incident like this will never happen again.
Confusion about the status of the NATO treaty appears to have been resolved. Let's move to Rebecca Fausto with the details on this story and more current events happening today around the globe.
Thank you, Olga. Back in March of 2016, then-candidate Trump told ABC News that the North Atlantic Treaty Organization was obsolete. But today, during a press conference with NATO, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, Trump said that NATO is no longer obsolete because it has revised to focus on handling the threat of terror. President Trump then reaffirmed his commitment to NATO by stating that in the following months and years, he will work closely with all of NATO's allies to resolve the disaster which is currently taking place in Syria. In other news, a volcano in Santiago, Chile has residents on high alert. Authorities have issued a yellow alert in bioregion after eruptive pulses occurred in the Nevados de Chile. Also, local authorities have restricted the area, and the Chilean National Service of Geology and Mining are closely monitoring the area. Last month, an eruption in the volcano in central Chile was followed by more than 700 minor earthquakes. Scientists will keep a close eye on the current volcanic activity in Chile. And in South Africa, thousands of residents marched in the capital Pretoria on Wednesday. Demonstrators gathered in the streets to protest against President Jacob Zuma, urging him to resign. The altercations began after he ordered a controversial cabinet switch. They are also pressuring Zuma over his handling of the country's struggling economy. This would be the second time South Africans have marched in less than a week. That is all I have for World News today. Back to Olga and Christine in the studio.
So Christine, have you had an opportunity to get out there and enjoy the weather?
Yes, and it's really beautiful outside, and you could tell it's warming up right now, but it's good here, but in the East Coast, not so much.
I know, I heard. For more about the East Coast weather and Easter Sunday, we'll go to Savannah Romero.
Yes, so Texas has been slammed with storms this week, and I actually have some footage that I'd like to show you guys. We have some footage of the flooding that is currently going on in Texas right now. As we can see, streets in the San Marcos area of Texas are completely filled with water. Roads have been shut down, causing many traffic inconveniences, and even some branches were torn off of trees. No injuries have been reported thus far. And unfortunately, Texas, as well as the rest of the middle U.S. and the upper East Coast, will be seeing more rain as we go into the weekend. This is for a map looking outwards till Sunday. Easter Sunday, we have a major storm coming in that is going to be hitting the middle of the U.S. up into the East Coast. Areas such as Texas and New York are going to be experiencing a lot of rain and severe thunderstorms in this middle area. And also over here in the Carolinas and Florida, we have a burst of warm air that is going to be moving up, causing that front and causing those storms in the middle right there. So that's what's going on for the weekend into the East Coast. Let's see what Fullerton has for the rest of the week. Today, our high is at 75 with a low at 56. Tomorrow, it gets a little bit cooler at 71, but into the weekend, we start picking up. As we look at Saturday, we'll have sunshine with sunny skies at 78 degrees, and Sunday, we're looking at 78 also, partly cloudy. Let's look at our current temperatures here in Fullerton. Today, right now, it's at 74 degrees with a low of 56. And we have a UV index of 7, so it's bright and sunny outside with a humidity at 49%. And be sure to catch that sunset, tonight at 7:21. And that'll be all for weather today. Back to the ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Savannah. When we come back, Coachella is just days away, and we have tips to help you get ready for the big weekend festival.
Also, a big ownership change is underway at the Mammoth Mountain Resorts. Stay tuned.